Wassup YouTube, Pokeprimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 5 team builder in the IPBL. This week we are taking on Jacob, and I want you to know, I built this team like 10 minutes before we battled. Like 10 minutes before the battle actually happened, just because time zones and shit was wild. So, this team's kind of hasty, so don't blame me if we lose. I'm sorry. But, yeah, the team build was kind of like, this was literally just thrown together. I just sat down on my computer. I was like, alright, bro, I got you. I'll throw my team together real quick. We'll get this shit done, and we'll move on with our lives. So, I went ahead and threw this team together to take on Jacob. I didn't even have time to, like, mark down, like, what things are super effective against and whatnot. And, like, I didn't even have time to mark any of that shit down on my paper, so, bear with me. His team consists of Manaphy, Ferrothorn, Megazard Y, Espeon, Goodra, Sylveon, Scrafty, Absol, Gallade, Malamar, Haunter, and Smeargle. It's a very, very interesting team to build for, but one thing that I noticed is he only has one mon above base 100, so we can kind of deal with that speed a little bit. If we can work around the speed, it'd be fine. He's got magic bounce potential with the Espeon, which is annoying. He's also got a Sap Sippermon and Goodra, which is also annoying. He's also got Megazard Y, which is a freaking nuke. Ferrothorn, which is super duper annoying to deal with. Manaphy, which if it sets up a Tail Glow, we die. Sylveon, which is a nuke. Scrafty, which can set up and be a nuisance. Absol, which can set up and be a nuisance. Gallade can set up and be a nuisance. Malamar clicks superpower, sets up and it becomes a nuisance. Haunter is just a speedy little ghost type, but not too big of a deal. Then we have Smeargle, who can run literally anything. So that's kind of annoying. That's just the annoying spread of his team, so we'll kind of have to work our way around that as we go through the team build. Right off the bat, I knew I wanted to bring a Mungus. I knew I had to bring a Mungus this week because it could wall the Ferrothorn entirely. We can shut down 99.9% of spreads of Manaphy, and even take a Ice Beam if we have to at +3. Because with this spread, we do take an Ice Beam at +3, I believe. Don't quote me because I'm dumb, but I do believe 252, 248, 8, AV, which is Manaphy, Tail Glow plus 3 attacks, +3. We do take an Ice Beam at +3 from a Manaphy, so that's good stuff to know with the Assault Vest and everything. So we're running Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Clear Smog, and Foul Play. Clear Smog is to clear away that Tail Glow boost. If we have to do anything before we die, we're getting rid of the Tail Glow. If we have to 100% take an Ice Beam from a +3 Manaphy, we're getting rid of its Tail Glow before we die. We are going to get a free switch in, sack something if we have to. We're going to get a free switch in, Clear Smog immediately against the Manaphy, and get rid of that stupid ass +3 nonsense. We don't want that hanging around here. We have the Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain for stab. Sludge Bomb Sludge Bomb touches the Sylveon. Giga Drain touches the Manaphy, and then we have Foul Play as a kind of an interesting little thing, kind of just to hit the Espeon if it wants to try to switch into us, as well as being able to touch the Haunter. I just threw Foul Play in there because it was the only other coverage move that we really needed, just to hit other things on the team. But overall, this thing is just kind of here to stop Manaphy. Like, this is our stop to Manaphy, so that we can bring in our other mons and beat it effectively. So that's our plan there. Next up, we have Zapdos, the Zapdos, especially defensive Zapdos this week. Calm Nature, 4 speed, 4 in defense, 248 HP, and max Spadef. The 4 in speed is literally just in case of bulky Manaphy, so we can outspeed it. Essentially, that's the only reason. Yeah. But Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Heat Wave, and Roost. Roost so we can keep our HP up. Heat Wave so that we can nuke the Ferrothorn if it wants to try to wall us. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt just for stab and to keep things moving. He actually doesn't have... Let me adjust my headset real quick. He He doesn't have a ground type on his team, so we can spam Volt Switch anytime we're on the field, and it can be very, very useful. And Thunderbolt things like the Megazord Y or the Manaphy, so we can get big damage off on those things. Again, this is another mon that can take hits from the Manaphy. I can handle the Manaphy a little bit better. So we're sitting at 248 HP, 252 def, Calm Nature. Yeah, with the Calm Nature and everything, we do live a +3 Ice Beam from a Manaphy, and with our spread, we can actually do about 69 to 81% with a Thunderbolt to a Manaphy, so that's awesome to know as well. So that thing, we have enough things that can handle the Manaphy in our bulk to not have to worry. Next up, we have Carnival Food, the Slurpuff. I believe the name is Carnival Food. I'm not 100% sure. I literally named this at like in like 2 seconds, so I just threw it together. Standard Citrus Berry, Unburden, the Slurpuff set, Adamant Nature, 20 in HP so that we have that even number, and the rest goes into speed. With this speed stat, we hit 239 times 2. Let me just run the quick calculator thing. 239 times 2. Divide that by 1.5. We are actually faster than a Scarfed Haunter with this spread, so that we can outpace that just for the fuck of it. We can't outspeed a Scarfed Manaphy or a Scarfed Espeon, but that's okay. I don't think Scarfed Manaphy's coming, because that would be silly. He would ruin the potential of a Tail Ghost Sweeper. You can't Scarf a Megazord, so that's fine, it's whatever. And Scarfed Espeon, again, just kind of like... Espeon's good as more of a cleric or as a screen setter. So he would potentially be, again, giving up that role. And a Scarfed Espeon doesn't do a lot against my team, because I do have offensive dark types that can that are faster and could be Scarfed and beat it, or something like that. So it'd be kind of silly, especially if he Scarfs himself into a Psychic type move. It'd be kind of silly on that note, so I can handle it. But Belly Drum, Play Rough, Drain Punch, Return, all I really need. Play Rough just for stab, just to nuke things. If it doesn't resist it, it's gonna kill it, essentially. And even the Haunter doesn't take it nicely. It gets, I'm pretty sure Haunter gets fucked up. Third buff, Mr. Carnival Food. CBD2 +6, Adamant versus a Haunter. Yeah, Haunter gets kind of O-code. Haunter kind of gets O-code by Play Rough. Kind of. Just dies. Yeah, so there's that. We packed the Drain Punch because, I know the Scrafty's probably coming. So, if there's something that's super effective against, we're going to guaranteed OHKO it, and we're going to get a shit ton of HP back for it. It's our way of kind of handling the Ferrothorn, trying to wall us. We'll get more than enough HP back from the Ferrothorn that the Iron Barbs or Rocky Helmet, whatnot, don't really matter, and we can still continue our sweep appropriately. Because we will one-shot it, and then the return is there for the Zard Y, because the Zard will, in fact, resist the Play Rough, and if he builds a weird Zard set to try and stop a potential Slurpuff sweep, return is there to handle that appropriately. Since it won't be resisted, it will OHKO, and we will be safe. So Slurpuff is here to try and clean up at the end. Next up we have Play With Me, the Mega Banette. Again, a more offensive set, entirely because he has Sylveon. That's why we're having an offensive set, entirely because there's a Sylveon there. Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Shadow Sneak, and Gunk Shot. Taunt is to keep some Wish Heal Bell nonsense from happening, because I don't want that going on. We have the Will-O-Wisp here to burn things like the Ferrothorn, so Power Whips don't do shit. To burn the Manaphy, kind of try to bait the Rain Dance, see if it's a Rain Dance hydration set. Burn the Malamar, burn the Gallade, burn the Absol, burn the Scrafty, burn the Goodra, burn the Smeargle, burn just about anything I can put a burn onto. Taunt is also there to shut down the Smeargle entirely if it's that kind of Smeargle set. Shadow Sneak is there so that I can essentially nuke the Espeon. Espeon does not take this. Gallade don't take it either, neither does Haunter. None of them really want to take an Adamant max attack. Shadow Sneak from a Banette, and then Gunk Shot's there specifically for the Sylveon. We do outspeed Sylveon, and would have to invest a lot of speed investment to outspeed us. So I'm not worried about speed investing, so I can just go ahead and click Gunk Shot and murder it. And if anything wants to try to switch into the Gunk Shot, I mean, the only thing on the team that really could is that Ferrothorn. So I'm not too worried about that either. So yeah, the Gunk Shot's going to be there to do that kind of work for us, and I think Mega Manette's going to do that a lot of work this week. Next up, we have Catch and Claws, the Sneasel, Choice Banded, Inner Focus. Doesn't really matter for the Inner Focus ability. Doesn't really matter what ability we brought this week because we weren't really going for too much to happen here. But we have Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Knock Off, and X Scissor. Enough speed to outspeed the max speed Espeon by 1 point. We have the Icicle Crash, which is just a solid nuke for most of the team. Ferrothorn doesn't like it. Megazard Y don't like it at all. Goodra gets annihilated by it. You know, stuff like that. Bandit Ice Shard, if late game everything's down really low, we can come in and Bandit Ice Shard and clean things up. Bandit Knockoff is for switch-ins. Nothing switches into a Bandit Knockoff from Sneasel outside of a Mega, and it doesn't really want to if it doesn't have to. And then X Scissor is essentially just for Malamar. If Malamar gets a little out of hand and starts doing crazy shit, we can just come in, Bandit X Scissor, and 99.9% positive. 99% positive. If I am choice banded against a Malamar, standard Malamar Saturino, if we have the X Scissor, if it's the standard defensive set +1, we'll still be able to do 84 to 99% to it. So if it's taking any prior damage, it's dead 100%. If it's asleep, it's even better because we can just kill it essentially with that. So that's good stuff, and we just have a good chance with the X Scissor to do work on the Malamar. That's the entire reason the X Scissor is coming. I mean, it also helps with the Absol, and if Absol wants to try to switch in, but I don't think it will. But the last one we're bringing is kind of a more interesting set, and that's going to be Old Faithful, the Volcanion, being an expert belt this week. I wanted to kind of run something a little bit weird. So I am running the Steam Eruption and Fire Blast set here. Steam Eruption and Fire Blast are here. Steam Eruption is going to do a large chunk of damage to a lot of opposing Pokemon. And with the Expert Belt, we actually do still 2 KO the Megazard Y and the Sun, so that's interesting to note. Fire Blast is there for the Ferrothorn. Steam Eruption's there for the Zard. Solar Beam is an interesting bring because I know the Zard Y is a thing, right? And the Manaphy's a thing. If Manaphy wants to try to come in to wall us and the sun's up, we can Solar Beam the Manaphy and it's gone. Solar Beam the Manaphy and it's just gone, man. And we also do have the Toxic. A lot of things that might want to switch in, like the Goodra is a huge switch in to Volcanion. And if we can Toxic the Goodra on a switch in, we have nothing to worry about because the Goodra will just die because it doesn't have very reliable forms of recovery to get rid of that Toxic. So it will eventually just die. So good stuff there. And I think that's probably about the best we're going to get with this set. Hopefully this hasty team build actually works for us in the match. We'll see what happens. But yeah, until next time, guys, I am Pokeprimer, signing off. You guys will see the battle in a little bit. What's up, YouTube? Pokeprimer here. I'm ready to deliver you our Week 5 battle here in the IPBL. This week we are taking on Jacob and the Hereford Goodras. You can see from our team builder, our very hastily done team builder, we have Amoonguss, Zapdos, Slurpuff, Mega Manette, Sneasel, and Volcanion along for the ride this week. As you can see, my opponent brought the Goodra Sylveon,
Megazard Y, Espeon, Absol, and the Scrafty. So I'm going to put the speed on to normal. We're going to play this baby with the music off, and we're going to switch sides. Switch sides, right? Yeah, there we go. He's going to lead with his Scrafty as I lead with my Mega Banette. He's got the Intimidate, but I see that he is a Life Orb, so I'm assuming he's a setup Scrafty. So I'm going to go immediately for the Will-O-Wisp here, as he's going to switch actually into the Absol. Very interesting play, but not a terrible play either. He goes for the Night Slash and gets a crit turn 2, so that was kind of annoying, but a Gunk Shot is going to put this thing down in range to where a Shadow Sneak is going to be able to take out the Absol. So, huge threat gone very early. Good stuff to see. So out comes his Megazard Y, and he actually makes a very good prediction here. As I go into my Volcanion, he's going to go for the Solar Beam, and it's going to do about 49%, and I'm thinking, oh, I might be able to live this one. He gets a higher roll on the second one and is able to take out my Volcanion, which kind of sucks. Could have gotten like a huge 70% off, but that's fine. I'm actually able to take that Fire Blast with my specially defensive Zapdos and fire off a Volt Switch and do a really good chunk of damage, putting him in range so that Banded Sneasel can come in and Icicle Crash the Zard and take it out. So good stuff there. Into the Scrafty again he goes, and I just can't do anything to touch this thing. I can't touch Scrafty. So I go now into Zapdos, and he goes for the Iron Head, predicting potentially the Slurpuff, as I see an opportunity here to roost up and get some HP back. No, I don't roost here. I just go for the Thunderbolt for damage. I wasn't expecting to live past that turn. I do go for the roost here, as he's going to be going for the Ice Beam, which is not going to be doing nearly as much because I'm losing my flying typing thanks to the roost. I'm going to roost back up to full, take this Ice Beam like it's nothing, and I'm in a very, very good position here. So he's going to switch out here, feeling like he can't really do much here. I'm going to actually go for the Volt Switch here. So that was awesome. And Zapdos gets out of there. I get Mega Banette in here for free, and I go for the Gunk Shot, as he's already seen it, and the Espeon's not taking that. So I'm going to burn the Goodra, because I wanted to just whittle this thing down. It's just going to go for the Flamethrower and kill me off. That's fine. I need the burn on this thing just so I can whittle it down slowly. And this actually gave me a good situation to go into my Carnival Food and just go for the Belly Drum. He goes for the Power Whip, which is kind of strange in my opinion. I think that was kind of weird of a play. Flamethrower would have done a lot more, but I can go for the player off there. Even with the GUI -1 speed, we're still a lot faster than everything else that he has. And so he's going to go for the Fake Out here, do a decent chunk of damage, very decent chunk of damage. But I'm actually going to be able to just go for the Drain Punch and finish off the Scrafty and put myself in a position to win the match and KO this Sylveon with a Play Rough. So once again, Slurpuff getting in the right scenario, setting up and cleaning up the game for me, allowing us to pick up a beautiful, beautiful, very lovely 4-0 victory. Yeah, 4-0 victory over the Hereford Goodras. Which this actually puts us in a very, very interesting predicament, as we are now tied, 100% tied, differential and record-wise, with Chris and the Charlotte Salandits. So that's going to be a very, very interesting situation that's going to play out, because one of us has to lose next week when we face off. One of us is going to have to lose. So it's going to be a matter of time before one of us is no longer undefeated. So be really hyped for that matchup, guys. It's going to be one hell of a match. So, but yeah, huge congrats to Jacob. Good game to him. Good job, buddy. I do appreciate his competition, his level of competition, because Jacob is a fantastic battler. So definitely keep an eye on what he'll be doing the rest of the season. But yeah, with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, I'm Pokeprimer.